Two. We're live. Hey guys,
Hey,
this is Chris Mincola with Mincola Group over at West USA Realty, and I'm joined by Evan Einhorn with Modern Home Lending, our preferred lender.
hi everyone.
Amazing job. How you doing, Evan?
Good. How about you, Chris?
Good. I'm really good. Keeping busy and out of trouble.
Yeah.
Um, so today we're going to be talking about specifically a couple of different programs that Evan has that most other lenders that you're going to come across do not have,
Yeah.
and they can work specifically, resale and new homes, but specifically today we want to talk about new homes because it kind of cuts through some of the issues that a lot of people are having. So
Yeah.
the first thing on our agenda would be we're going to be talking about buying a new home with a rent to own program Evan has, and or down payment assistance or no money down 100% financing with low credit scores and that sort of thing. So Evan, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. So the rent to own program, again, I talked about this with a lot of our clients and whatnot. Um, it makes sense for very specific situations, but there's a lot of people in those situations. So, there's still income requirements, credit requirements, etc. They're not just going to say, hey, we'll buy this house for you and let you rent it. But this makes sense for people who maybe can't qualify for a loan because they're waiting for a bankruptcy to be up in 6-7 months, for their 2 years for FHA, or, maybe they're only 6 months into a commission job, but they're really killing it and doing a good job with consistent income.
Right.
The big thing here is with income, they'll look at your last 2 to 3 months worth. So they're not looking at previous years. If you have a job gap that prevents you from going with a different loan, it might be an option. But on a high level, what the program does, which is great, is it lets the buyer, the buyer gets pre-approved through the program. The organization actually purchases the home and then signs a lease agreement before they close. And then that way your buyers, Chris, can move into the home, right away.
Right.
They don't have to move twice.
Exactly. Yeah. So one of the biggest things that we seem to run into a lot of times is credit score and then work history outside of down payment, which the down payment assistance handles. That's a big hurdle, obviously. But usually for a purchase, they want to see 2 years, whether it's down payment or not, down payment assistance or not. 2 years. This does 2 to 3 months. And 580, maybe in some cases 560 credit scores for rent to own program, where the company comes in, buys the property, leases it back to you for up to 3 to 5 years.
And the nice thing about that, I will say, like for the buyers, for the rent to own, like the renters / buyers that are moving into the property, most of the time they are going to sell it to you for 1% more. So that's in writing. So if you're buying, let's just say a $300,000 home, you'll know, hey, the price is set. If I buy it 2 years from now, if I buy it a year from now, I'm going to be buying it for 303. And the builder or seller's happy because they get it off their plate. It's a win-win. The rent's slightly higher than rent, but at the same time you're building equity, and
right.
It's a great way.
That's the big thing, right? You're paying a little bit more with the rent to own than you would with the DPA or with you coming in with your own down payment and buying, but you're paying down the principal. You're gaining any equity that may come into play over the first year, second year, third year, whatever, and then you're only buying it for 1%. So on a $200,000 house, you're looking at $2,000 as far as the buyout at that point, right?
Yep. As far as the extra, when you're purchasing the home, there's extra. That's the only extra fee. Like you still have to get a loan and whatnot, but yeah, people can always reach out to me for details about that because it is a very unique program. It's not something you hear about every day. It's not something like, there's only a couple of us that have it in Arizona, and I don't even know how many people understand it. So I've studied the program. I know all the details in and out. I know who it works for, who it does not work for, and on the same time, Like I know we've talked to a lot of people that have asked us about the rent to own, but they end up qualifying with something else, like down
Right.
payment assistance. So
Yeah, guys, I would say the biggest thing is it's really, the biggest thing that's sometimes frustrating for us is we know people could qualify to buy or they can qualify to buy in a very short period of time. They just have to do a couple of very simple things with Evan to clear up their credit, boost credit scores, which he can help with some free credit counsel. If you've got a multitude of judgments or collections, which, there's a little difference there between those two things, he can help you clear those things up. He actually has another guy who does full on credit repair. But Evan will give you kind of the upfront stuff right away on what to do with some free credit counseling there and run some different scenarios for you. But it takes a little bit of effort, just like me. If I want to, get in shape, I've got to go to the gym every morning, or eat right. It's the same thing, with anything. It doesn't come for nothing. But it's just going to be a great way to get into a home either way with the down payment assistance, the rent to own. 2 to 3 months worth of work history. I mean, that's nothing, versus 2 years.
right.
580 credit score versus, everybody's got home in 5 program out there. A lot of you probably been turned down for that because you needed a 640 or 660 credit score. Evan can do 580 for 2% on 1.5, I'm sorry, on a 3.5% down payment.
Yeah, so we have down payment assistance programs that start at a 580 bottom line. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in between the 580 and 640.
Yep.
And with that being said, you always hear, hey, it's tough to get qualified for a mortgage, which it is. I mean, I should say there's a lot more documentation involved. Like I always like to give this example. I helped someone, they had just over a 620 credit score. They had a foreclosure 3.5 years ago, a bankruptcy actually slightly after, and they were able to get their entire down payment covered and move into a home. So, I think that kind of puts it in perspective for people that, hey,
yeah,
they had a below average credit score. I think the average credit score in the US is like 660 or 670 nowadays. They had a foreclosure 3 years ago. Bankruptcy, I think, was just under 3 years ago. And they got their entire down payment and moved into a home. So,
yeah, we have a lot of people a lot of times who don't think they can buy, and they're really surprised to know how easy it is. It takes a little bit of effort to get the documentation together, but we're talking about what? W-2s, pay stubs, or your taxes.
For 70, for 80% of my buyers that if you're not self-employed, if you don't own any rental properties, and you don't own any properties, most of the time I'm giving you a list of, hey, 30 days of recent pay stubs, 2 years of recent W-2s, driver's license, and 1 to 2 recent bank statements. Or if you get other income from other sources, Social Security award letter, pension award letter.
Yeah.
So those are the examples. Most of the time, we actually don't even need tax returns in the file. We just need that W-2 that you get. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. So guys, if you are a builder, you need to talk to Evan and I about, selling some more houses quicker for your new builds. If you're somebody who's looking to buy or interested in the rent to own concept, or down payment assistance, or just buying in general, Evan's a broker. He can broker out to, if he doesn't have it in house, he can broker out to wherever he needs to make sure you're getting the right loan, the best deal possible, no underwriting or processing fees. And then of course our team, we've got bilingual agent on our team. We're, been in the business for years. We're able to, provide a lot of value for you. We don't charge anything for our services. And if you need to sell a house too on a contingency, we can certainly help with that, get the place cleaned up, freshened up. We've got all kinds of tradesmen that can help with that sort of thing too, to make sure that you're selling your home at top value. And then moving that equity over. And Evan can figure all that into your loan also. So
right. It takes a team to close a deal.
It really does. It really does. One other thing I'll add too is Evan's got some great renovation loans. They can be used on older homes. Evan can even use them on new homes, right? If there's certain things they want to do after they move in.
Yeah, so you can use it for purchase or refinance. So
Yeah.
I've helped people that bought a home 5 years ago, and hey, we want to do something to the kitchen. We want to actually upgrade the countertops and whatnot, etc. So,
Yeah.
yeah, a
So
lot of
Evan, how
people.
do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can go to modernhomelending.com, or you can give me a call at 602-456-2273. What about you?
Awesome. And Evan would be the first step to get you qualified. Then we come in, we'll know what you're qualified for, know what to negotiate and put into the home search, including the loan type. And then we'll start looking at homes in person and negotiate the best deal for you, help you through the whole process, explain it up front so there's no surprises. You can contact us 480-788-8569, or you can check us out online at mincolagroup.com or mincolahomes.com. So,
Perfect.
guys, looks good. We're doing a little bit earlier time today to accommodate Evan. I actually kind of like this time a little bit better. I think we may catch a little bit more of you. But anyways, we'll see you guys again next week. If you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. All right?
Thanks, Chris. We'll
Thanks,
see you
Evan.
guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.